Alright guys, welcome back to another gun build in Modern Warfare. Today we're going to be looking at the AN94, and I for some reason have this camo, or the variant on it. We have the AN94, so it is an assault rifle that actually has a really cool feature to it, and it is called a hyper burst feature, and in the description it does say that every time that you pull the trigger, every time that you're actually about to fire off several rounds, it will fire off a rapid, like, 2 round burst out of the gun before recoil is actually dealt to you, or before you actually see any kind of recoil. What is really cool about this gun, if you do not put it into select, like, fire or like single fire, uh, when you pull the trigger, when it goes through the 2 round burst into automatic, there's actually a third round that comes out faster than the original two, and makes it to where it's a 3 burst, having rounds that are going blazing fast speeds. The bullet velocity is insane for these kind of guns, or this kind of those kind of rounds. Or at least the three that you first fire out, and they're up there with like the sniper rifles and stuff. So what I'm going to be doing is going to be taking that to an advantage, and then turning this gun to where it is going to be insanely accurate for longer ranges, and using a couple of its own unique attachments. And I say unique, one of them is actually about the same as a normal attachment. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into it, and let's start off with the barrel, because that's usually where we go. So we want to go with the second one down, the one in the dead center for the barrel options here, the AN94 Factory X 438 millimeter, or the 438 millimeter barrel. Gives you the typical stuff for damage range, bullet velocity, recoil control. We're going to take the recoil control and bullet velocity out of that. The damage range is always nice, but it's the bullet velocity we're going to be looking at. So now, putting this with the insanely blazing fast bullets, it makes it to where this gun is practically up there with sniper rifles. When it comes to bullet speed, it is insanely fast, as long as you keep firing out those 3 rounds, which is really neat. And this gun does go into more of an automatic fire after the first 3 rounds. Like I said, it will slow down or ramp down for shots or the automatic firing, but you can tap fire it, and the burst delay is insanely small. So you technically turn into a 3 round burst sniper rifle. So the what is it? The FAMAS, or the FR556, got nothing on this. So yeah, so we're going to put that on there, and we're going to go for 2 attachments that help out its recoil even further, and it makes it to where this gun doesn't move while you're firing it. It does not move a muscle. So for the muzzle, we're going to put on the AN94 Sonic Brake. It's like the standard muzzle for any other gun. It just increases it a little bit more. Uh, but yeah, so that's going to make it to where the side-to-side bounce to your 3 round burst doesn't happen. Even though it does say it does get rid of recoil for the first burst, it gets rid of vertical recoil instead of horizontal. So horizontal recoil, or side-to-side bounce, is still there. This will make it to where it does not move a muscle when you do that. And I'm also going to combine it with a Commando foregrip to give you a little bit more of the horizontal recoil control, and also vertical as well. So it makes it to where this gun doesn't move. So you technically have 3 attachments helping you out for recoil here. After that, we want to go to your optic. You want to go all the way down, and you want to select the POS M3 thermal scope. I'm just going to put this on here because it's its own special scope. It has its own filter and everything when it comes to a thermal. So it kind of makes it more for like the longer range AN94 kind of build there. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on there. And it also makes it to where, in a sense, it clarifies a little bit of your vision, so you can see your enemy a little bit better. They glow in a bright red kind of color. It does give you magnification of 3.25 times zoom, so it's like a standard scout optic, so you're good there. From there, final attachment, we want to go for a stock, and we want to select the very first one, which is the AN94 Factory Heavy. Despite it saying heavy in its name, or the heavy duty stock with tactical comb, this is a sniper stock that you would put with your gun. So it's actually meant for a longer range kind of deal, and that gives you an insane amount of aiming stability to your gun. And with this, you're able to get a large amount of awesome accurate shots off. Now we're going to skip out on the 30 round magazine. We're actually going to be running the AK-47. with the 5x45 by 39mm 30 round magazine with fully loaded, because this is the only attachment in the game that you can put to a gun, and they can both share the same ammo because this gun uses the same thing. As you can see here, cutting edge 5.45 by 39. So they both use the exact same rounds. So the AN94 is like the FR556 or the FAMAS, the AK put together, and what else is there? Practically the M13, I guess, because it does have like a slightly like slower time to kill when it comes to like normal fire rate. But with the 3-round burst, you can kill people insanely fast. So it's more or less like that as well. So it's like 3 guns kind of thrown together, more so for like the FAMAS and the AK. So I would see it more like that, but you can turn it to an actual sniper rifle. This is a sniper rifle build. It is up there with marksman rifles, like really good, like the SKS or the SPR, or sniper rifles like the Barrett or the AX50. Its bullet velocity is that high. It's insane. So what we're going to go ahead and do is jump into a game. I want to say it's more like a marksman rifle because it doesn't have the stopping power of the 50 cals or the larger hitting sniper rifles. So more like the SPR 208 or the SKS, more to like, or EBR 14. Lighter hitting, but they still hit like a dang truck.
Team deathmatch.
But have the bullet velocity of the 50 cals. As you can see, like, it doesn't move a muscle.
We've taken control.
Well, the scope moves because, you know, you have visible recoil with any kind of longer range scope, but the actual barrel of the gun doesn't move, as you can see. As you can see, it kills really fast. You can turn this gun into a hit scan to practically anywhere. By the way, it's practically a hit scan weapon. It's weird. It's an automatic hit scan weapon, and people don't ever talk about this.
Specialist achieved.
Good.
So, why is it never used, you know? Like, why is this gun never really used? Why do people don't ever actually, like, mess around with it? Mostly because it takes skill in order to actually be able to use, because there's a couple things that people will take into consideration when they're wanting to master this weapon. One, it's a 3-round burst that you can utilize to your greatest advantage there, and it has like no recoil. So having a 3-round burst usually makes it to where that you have a buttload of recoil, at least at first. But you don't have that with this because it mitigates the recoil every time you fire it. So it makes it to where it is incredibly awesome system for this kind of gun. But one thing about that, there's one of the things that people try to do, and I'm still trying to master it myself. I think I almost got it down. But it's the timing between each and single like burst delay. So if you tap it too fast for the burst delay there, it's like literally about a fraction of a second difference. But if you tap it too fast, it'll make it to where that it won't go into the second like 3-round burst. It'll just continue to do like its slower fire rate, like automatic deal. So, but people that actually master that, they can make this thing into where it's an absolute monster at longer ranges, as you can see. Headshots will make you an absolute monster too. So this is literally how fast it kills. It is insane. You can just tap the heck out of it. Like so.
Back to it.
Absolutely melts people. Yeah, there we go. Good to use. Now the only thing about it is that it, since it does have a 3-round burst, it does eat through its ammo and really fast. So if I'll be running this gun, I'll probably put Scavenger. The AK-47 with the conversion kit is probably better. Is that, you know, I was about to say that because you don't need to use up a perk slot, but you kind of need overkill perk in
Back
order
to
to
work.
get, you know, the actual AK on. So either way it works. You're going to use up one perk or another. So yeah, so there we go. So it's a really cool gun. I definitely recommend giving it a try. It takes skill to use or to at least get down that burst firing, especially when you want to do consecutive kind of bursts with it.
Not
As you can
today.
see, it melts after you figure it out. So yeah, it's a really cool build. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see y'all in the next one.